Hi, well, you joined me at Emley. This tower apparently is higher than the Eiffel Tower, and it's absolutely amazing. You can see it for miles around, and I thought it was quite a good way to introduce this little section of clips, even though I've actually done this after I've taken all the other clips. But I thought the whole thing might need just a little introduction. Just driving on the way cross country between Manchester and Leeds, and I saw all these wind turbines, and I've just basically taken a load of films. It doesn't seem very windy yet again. All sorts of anomalies, all sorts of blight, all sorts of unanswered questions about the whole thing. And I just thought, it's amazing that this tower is so big. Excuse me. It's just amazing that this tower is so big and yet it looks so good. And you know, I don't think anyone would really have a problem with this tower. Yet wind turbines look so appalling and you know, such blight. And I'm on a quest to find out why. What's wrong with them? Why do they look so awful? What's going on? So, enjoy the clips and let's see if we can get some answers. Thank you. Here's a quick question for you. Look at the the 4 turbines on the right. You'll see that of those 4 on the right, the first and the fourth are going in the same direction. The second one seems to be going in totally the opposite direction to those 2. And the third one of those 4 at the far right isn't even moving. I just thought that's rather strange. So if you look at the 4 on the right, you'll see that the first and the fourth of those 4 are going very fast in the same direction. But the second one seems to be going in totally the opposite direction. In fact, it seems to have actually twisted round, and then the third of those 4 on the right isn't even moving at all. And it's just to give you an idea of the wind. Very, very low. Make of that what you will. These were the ones that I was looking at in a distance. The ones in the front are much bigger than the other ones. I think they're newer, so it's like next generation. You've also got this, don't ask me to pronounce it, an anemometer wind speed measurer thing there. It's fairly windy, but look, you can barely hear any wind noise. The biggest noise is the actual turbines. It's quite a racket, really. Not only have you got the 2 wind farms themselves, you've also got in the distance, I can zoom in a bit, you've got these other ones all around. So you've got them there, another one there, there's another one there. That's the Emley Tower, which I think looks magnificent. That's a proper structure. There's the second one, apparently the first one fell down. So also look at the foundation, and just a bit around here you've got the substation. There it is. So, is it creating or generating electricity, or is it using it? That's what we're going to try and find out. It's certainly blighted the area for miles and miles around. I mean, look at them. Just, they stand out like a sore thumb. Let's have a close up. Beautiful sky. Let me get you some shadow flicker so you can see for yourself. Look at that. Look at that. It's also interesting, there's no animals at all, whereas in the adjacent ones, there you go, sheep. Okay, well, I'll leave it there, but just to show you the wind speed again, it's very, very light wind. moderate. Doesn't seem to have any correlation between light wind and the speed they're all going. So interesting stuff. Thank you very much indeed. As you can see, I think technically this is one of them, so that's one array there, but then I think that and those two supposedly another wind farm. So the distance between wind farms is that, essentially. The one on the left and that got totally separate planning permission, was built at a totally separate time. I don't know if it's run by the same people. I will do all my research. Listen to that racket. And I've got to drive down this road, wish me luck. Talk about Sword of Damocles. Because these are older as well, they're probably not that long before decision time. Are they going to be upgraded, repowered? Let's just do a close up. Can you hear that noise? It's kind of a swooping noise. And to give you some idea of where we are and how they've blighted the landscape, so we're on a ridge. This road is kind of it is a ridge really, so we've got hills dropping all the way down there. Oh, look at that, awful. So that's the Emily Tower, that's looking north, kind of towards, well, getting up towards Dewsbury, Wakefield, ultimately Leeds. That's looking east. And what's that I see in the distance? Oh my god, let me see. Oh my god, they just stretch far and far. Look at this, see if you can make them out. So you've got these up here. Yep, there's more back there. Can you even make out even further than them? Even further than them? Yeah, you can see them. So you've got a load in the very far distance, then you've got some in the middle distance, then you've got one on its own in front of that, then you've got them, then you've got them, we've got a little one down there, see, another one there. Oh look, what's that behind the tree? Can you see it flickering away? There you go. This side is a national park, thank goodness. That's the Peak District. That's what it should all look like. Well, alright, no, okay, it doesn't have to be all sort of moorland as that, fair enough. But the fact is, this totally impacts on that for miles around. So if you're going to the Peak District for leisure or for anything to do with sort of recreation or nature, you can't help but see that for miles and miles around. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. These have to come down. They have to come down. Our heads must roll. And we must never ever make this mistake again. Listen to that. Look at that. Oh, and how windy is it? Nothing, no wind at all, look. And I know some people talk, well, one of you guys mentioned wind shear, and I looked it up. Yeah, fair enough. There could be a slight difference between the wind speed up there and the wind speed down here, but you're telling me down here and up there? Really? So, the plot thickens, thank you very much. Oh, look at the lovely wind turbines, aren't they beautiful? Oh, and that lovely sunset. I'm glad I've got this view because this brings me on to one of the points that I've noticed about a lot of wind turbine advertising and the kind of how the BS works. What wind turbines are basically a parasite on every level, they're a leech. They take more than they give on every single level. And what happens in the adverts is you'll get a beautiful sunset like that, which is 100% natural sunset. And the turbine companies will use this photo, well, They won't use this bit they won't use that bit. They might use that, possibly. You know, they might use that. It's all basically leeching off the beauties of nature to sell these ugly products, but that's what they look like. You're telling me that's beautiful? How many wind turbine brochures look like that? Who wants to live next to that? Listen to it, look at it. And let's just have a look round. Because there's some great panoramas from up here. See if I can point out the sights, feel a bit of a tour guide. Because what I want to show you is just some of the impacts. Look at that. Oh, God almighty. Over here, these are the ones that we saw in the distance. Let's zoom in. See them? They must be a good 6 or 7 miles away, if not further. Can you see the coal power stations in the background? Possibly just on the skyline. So that's kind of Ferrybridge direction. And maybe it's just a matter of taste, but I think those coal power stations look fantastic. I think they look so much more attractive. They're in the valleys, so you look down on them from on high. But look at that. Why are they that colour? That is the most inappropriate colour. And in terms of wind, nothing. So there you go. The majesty of wind turbines.